Welcome to day 83 of 365 days of R functions by Stats Made Simple. Today, we are learning the reshape function in R. When working with real-world data, you may often find that your data is arranged in a format that is not convenient for analysis. This is where reshape becomes useful. The reshape function helps us change the structure of a data frame between wide format and long format. Let's understand this with an example. Suppose we have student scores stored in wide format. Our data has columns for ID, name, math, science, and English. For example, Aisha has a math score of 85, science score of 90, and English score of 88. Now suppose we want each subject to become a separate observation. We can convert the data from wide to long format using reshape by mentioning direction to long, var to id and name, etc. What happens here? The math, science, and English columns are converted into rows. The subject names are stored in a new column called subject, and the corresponding marks are stored in a column called score. So instead of having separate columns for every subject, we now have one subject column and one score column. This is called long format. Now, what if we want to convert the long data back to wide format? We can use direction to wide, var to id and name, etc. Here, direction equals wide tells R to spread the subject values back into separate columns. So math, science, and English become separate columns again. The most important arguments to remember are varying, versus names, time var, var, and direction. The direction argument is especially important. Direction equals long converts wide data into long data. Direction equals wide converts long data back into wide data. Why is reshape useful? It is commonly used for data preparation, exploratory analysis, visualization, longitudinal data, repeated measurements, statistical modeling, and survey data. The key takeaway is simple. Reshape changes the structure of your data so that it is easier to analyze, visualize, and model. Remember, wide to long, use direction equals long. Long to wide, use direction equals wide. If you found this explanation useful, like this short, save it for later, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Stats Made Simple. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing. See you in day 84.